Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And if you guys are familiar with a French data miner by the name of Dokkan, he actually essentially confirmed what we were all hoping. Now, I can't even front. I was not expecting Extreme Super Battle Road for this upcoming celebration. I was hopeful, I mean, of course, but I actually was really leaning towards Explosive Chain Battle as being the big thing that they introduce. But according to him, and he is essentially never wrong, we are getting Extreme Super Battle Road. So if you guys are unfamiliar with Extreme Super Battle Road, it's essentially a revamped or an updated version of the monotype Super Battle Road. And what I want to do is kind of, as quickly as possible, I'm not trying to rush through it, but I want to do a little team building for you guys. Now, obviously, not everyone is going to have every single unit in the game. I myself don't have every single unit in the game. You know, for instance, I don't have either the new LRs, the Extreme Fizz, Broly, Chile, and Lemo, or the Extreme Int Rose, who I would definitely say they are both, like, built for this event for sure. Like, they're both very, very good for this event. Rose being able to hit so hard, and then Broly, Chile, and Lemo with that 100% chance to dodge if you can get them 7 key spheres or more. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to go over with some units that I have, and if I'm leaving anyone out, let me know in the comments below. So, Super STR, I feel like this one is pretty straightforward. So what I have here is I have primarily an over and a flash build. Now, obviously, you know, Kaba, he's not over and a flash. He is prepared for battle. Is he? Yeah, he is prepared for battle, and of course he's shattering the limit as well. And then the rest of these units are, no, he's shattering the limit as well, so that could bode well for him. But what I have here is primarily an over and a flash build, and then of course Vegeta-sama, he is prepared for battle as well, and then he has GT. So when you're running Super Battle Road, you want to do a few things. So this Vegeta, he's like Superman, right? So he is just like literally built for Super Battle Road. He gets like monstrous damage reduction, yeah, 80% damage reduction for 10 turns. And then he gets attack 120% when the target enemy is stunned. So definitely going full additional on this guy is the way to go. For whatever reason, my potential system is what it is, right? But go full additional for this guy. So that way, if he gets the stun, he gets that additional. You get him in between two Super Saiyan 3 Bardoks with their passive active, he can get a 4 million attack stat. I mean, he can hit quite hard, right? If the opponent is stunned. So, but Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is like a shoe-in candidate to run on this stage. We'll go over a few other options as well. Now, if you do not have STRUI Goku, that is okay, because you can run him as a friend, and then you can use him. He's going to definitely be a top-tier option. I will more than likely run him as a friend for this event, because he has, of course, that 70% chance to dodge. Great chance to dodge, including super attack. Of course, right? Like, we've all been over the hype, right? So he is crazy. Again, he is an over and a flash unit. Also a TOP unit and a prepared for battle unit. So he's going to link up well pretty much no matter who you run on this team. You could easily run a Realm of Gods variant of this team, for sure. And then, of course, he's providing Super STR key for 100% to stats. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is going to be really, really strong here. He's strong defensively, and then he is even stronger defensively if you get him as 18 key super, massively or 100% raise to his attack and defense and causing mega colossal damage. And of course, he's got that, is it a medium chance to counter, evade enemy attacks, right? And then of course the active skill. So bringing 2 of him is not going to be a bad idea either. And I would definitely say you could replace one of these units and bring along the STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Just to kind of beef up Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, because that will get him the Saiyan Roar link and make him just look crazy. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku, man, he's still good in his own right. He stacks defense for by 30% for 6 turns. I feel like people forget that. He's actually not bad defensively, presuming you can get him a couple of super attacks. He's not horrible, right? Jiren, I would say he could definitely be replaced. I just have him here for that chance to stun the entire rotation. And then this guy you may not have if you're a newer player. This is the awakening of course, this guy, right? The Xeno SS3 Goku. Only comes around 1 or 2 times a year on the Dragon Ball Heroes banner. Now, he's got a high chance to stun. He gets damage reduction per Dragon Ball Heroes ally on the team, which he, on this team, is the only one. And then he guards, which isn't going to do a whole lot. on this team. As a matter of fact, he could easily be replaced, right? I don't know that he's going to perform very well. It'll be kind of a wait-and-see type of approach, but I do have him with 3 dupes, so he could be good. But, like, if we wanted to replace him, let's just say, again, I'd probably replace him with this Super Saiyan 4 Goku for sure. Just to, again, like I said, beef up the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta LR. I'm trying to think of other units realistically could run. I would definitely avoid bringing Namek Goku. He's much more built for the long event. Now he can get his transformation, of course, and then he infinitely stacks defense, and then of course he can get his rage mode. Maybe not the worst idea. No, he's not going to be a horrible choice for sure. You know, activating Z fighters might be tough, but he's not a horrible choice for sure. But a lot of these units, you know, straight up, man, this content is very, very hard. Extreme Super Battle Road is not to be trifled with. It's harder than Category Super Battle Road. And there are more stages, so that's kind of the thing with it, is there are 4 stages just like the original stage. So these are some team. This is definitely a team that I would run. I probably will run this. And then support Kaba. If you don't have him, just use Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, or like I said, use STRUI Goku. So moving on. Now this stage, very, very interesting, this Super Agl stage. This is widely considered the toughest stage in the entire game of any Super Battle Road. Extreme Super Battle Road with Super AGL is insanely tough. You have the likes of like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Gohan. This is probably still the strongest typing in the game. Yeah, I think you could make a case for Super STR as well, but Super AGL still probably it. Those 3 that I just showed you, they're getting hit for like 50, 60, 70k, depending on the amount of dupes you have, on normal attacks. And that's after he gets his massive defense raise, right? He's getting hit for crazy amounts of damage. Now, the one advantage of bringing him as a leader is, again, the active skill. And then, of course, if you have any Goku's family allies, they're getting, you know, extra HP, basically, right? So 170% attack and HP, and then 130 to defense. Not my favorite build for Super Battle Road. I kind of like his build more for Super Battle Road, but I like the idea of bringing 2 Gokus because of their active skills. I think that's going to be a big deciding factor for Super AGL. This guy here, I know that right now, obviously, like, you know, I don't even have any orbs in him yet. But this guy is an absolute monster when he gets his Dokkan Awakening, which he will be getting during the upcoming Kefla celebration. Again, confirmed by Dokkaner, and he is basically always right. Now, when he gets his Awakening, he's 150% attack and defense, 50% chance to dodge, medium chance to stun on super attack. He's crazy, just straight up. And I believe that is only for 7 or 8 turns, something like that. But even still, that makes him completely just built for Super Battle Road. So this guy, I'm going to go ahead and just say, man, if you have this guy, he's a must run. He's going to make your life a lot easier on this stage with his chance to dodge. And then, of course, just being just beefy, right? He's 150% attack and defense. Bomku. Again, if you have him, he's a must run. And you can go ahead and just choose to get his 18 key super, or I'm sorry, his 12 key super and greatly raise your defense. Or you can get his 18 key, lower the enemy's attack and defense, and seal. So depending on the situation, you can do either. And of course, you're going to have a lot of Super Saiyans on this team. You will be able to activate his full passive if you have Gohan and then Super Vegito on rotation. Now, Super Vegito, again, he's another one that is like a must run. He's 80% damage reduction on normals, and then of course, he's getting, and then he counters, of course, and then he gets his attack and defense upon receiving attack. He can foresee enemy super attack, which is actually valuable in something like Extreme Super Battle Road, where you will probably be below 40% HP. Obviously, he's got like a ton of awesome key links as well, so that makes him very, very good. Definitely a top tier option, like a must run. If you have him, he's must run for sure. Also, I would definitely recommend giving him crit equipment if you have it, and then just go ahead and maximizing his crit. So, Kale and Caulifla, again, they're another one that can get kind of crushed. They can get definitely exposed early on in the fight, but remember that they do build up a chance to dodge. They do, of course, infinitely stack their defense, so they're going to be still a really, really top tier option, even though they can get exposed early. Just pop an item, right? Pop a Nurse Chi-Chi, pop a Whis, you know, be safe. You know, no sense in you know, the no item runs, like, they're fun, of course, and I would definitely recommend trying them. because it really gives you a sense of when you should be using items and when you shouldn't be using items. It really does kind of broaden your horizons a little bit. I would recommend trying, but for something as difficult as this stage, I don't even know if it's possible at this point. We'll see, I guess. I'll consort with the homie DBZ Blaze, the Duke of Super Battle Road. Moving on, let's move on. This is going to be definitely the toughest stage we run, right? So, Super Tech. Now, this one is interesting. Not running a conventional leader here in, like, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku or something, where he's, you know, he's the actual Super Tech leader, right, for LRs. But we're actually running Super Saiyan Teen Trunks. So he provides, of course, 120% and then 3 ki to Superclass, all Superclass allies. And then, of course, 170% to future class allies. So on this team, you will at least have this guy getting that full 170% leader skill. Of course, if you have Tech TN, I do not have Tech TN. I don't summon much on those type banners. I would definitely recommend bringing Tech TN. Tech TN, he does lower attack and defense. Not the craziest of the 50% supports, but of course he's supporting these guys here, LR Goku and Frieza. And then another unit that's going to be supporting them, LR Oob, #1, lowering attack on Super, but this guy, passively. Everyone forgets about this guy, man. He's still good. Extreme class enemies attack and defense -20%. So what does that mean? That means you activate their full passive, where they get monstrous, just crazy, an additional 77% when the target enemy is in attack down status. So they are, again, like this guy, like, again, everyone forgets about him. He isn't over in a flash unit. He does greatly raise attack and defense on his super attack. The only problem is no defense in his passive. That's the big issue. But he does have a high chance of evading enemy super attack and countering. So that's obviously monstrous, right? He does also have shocking speed. Matter of fact, he's going to be a very, very good linking partner. Straight up. He's going to be a very, very good linking partner for LR Goku and Frieza, sharing a bunch of relevant links. Shocking speed, over in a flash, fierce battle, you know. This guy is actually pretty good defensively if you don't get him his 18 ki super attack. And of course, if you do, it's a high risk, high reward. He's getting 180% attack, but then he's getting -70% defense. So he's definitely good. He's definitely still like worth running. And again, he is an over and a flash unit. He is a shattering the limit unit as well. So he's going to link up with like this guy here decently well, right? He's not an over and a flash unit, but if you can get him to fuse, he's going to heal you. Again, he can lower attack. He creates rainbow orbs. He's just really good, dude. Give it up for LR Oob, man. LR Oob is very, very underrated, especially if you can get him into this guy. The problem is if you look here, 4 of his links change, which is just crazy, right? Now, the one unit is not, this guy is not really designed for Super Battle Road, but he's so powerful when he gets to this state that I think he's worth bringing. He's going to get guaranteed double supers. And then, of course, if you stick him in the 3rd slot, he's got a 50% chance to dodge. Of course, this guy, you're going to want to avoid getting hit until he transforms into him. And then, of course, he does have his active skill as well. So don't forget to use that, right? So Super Tech, definitely going to be interesting. I think this one, you could definitely no item. I think for sure you could. But let's go. Let's keep moving on. Super Tech is going to be amongst the difficulty of like Super AGL, Super STR. It's going to be of a similar difficulty, just based on the sort of, you know, cast of units that you can bring. So let's move on. So Super Int. Now this one, again, is another very interesting one. That you can bring a wide number of units, right? So this guy I just chose as my leader. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the super. Who's the Super Int LR? So I actually just checked in-game, and I forgot there is no +4 100% leader to Super Int. Actually, Super Int pretty limited on LRs, to be honest with you. Again, just kind of another one of those teams I thought was really interesting. I feel like this guy is the guy. Like, if you have Super Saiyan Blue, the Int Blue Vegeta, this is the guy you want to bring. You know, he is raising attack and defense for 3 turns. He is lowering the enemy's attack and defense again. And if you can find a friend, I think he's going to definitely be worth running as a friend as well. And then, of course, he's providing Realm of Gods category allies with 50% defense, which look who the next unit is. Super Saiyan God Goku. Now, if you don't have this guy, there are some other options you can bring, of course. But he is a tippy top tier option if you do have him. He's got a 50% chance to crit, greatly raises for 3 turns attack and defense on his 18 key, and then greatly raises for 1 turn on his 12 key. 50% chance to crit, 50% chance to dodge. Just very, very good. I don't know why I even gave him a crit skill orb. Whatever. Probably just because I had it, right? And then, of course, oh yeah, and then he is getting up to 55% additional per pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans. So obviously on this team, that's going to be very, very good. He's going to be really, really solid. You actually could build a team with him as the leader. Pure Saiyans or hybrid Saiyans category, key 4, and then 130% to stats. I think you could easily run. Most of these units we have on the team are pure or hybrid Saiyans. So pure Saiyan, pure Saiyan. Obviously he himself is a pure Saiyan, and then hybrid Saiyan. So we would just have to swap out this fusion. They should be on pure Saiyans, by the way. And then Hercule, right? Now, let's keep going here. Obviously, LR God Goku, a top tier option. I might consider changing this team a little bit to maybe run a double LR God Goku. So we have Int Kid Goku. Everyone kind of forgets about his medium chance to stun, but he is a stunner, so that is obviously very helpful in Super Battle Road. Bringing a lot of stunners is usually a good idea. So he does have his active skill as well. Just straight up 59% HP or less is very, very good. Causes ultimate damage, and it is a guaranteed crit. So guaranteed crit is very, very good. Actually, the active skill itself isn't a guaranteed crit, but when he gets below 59% HP, he gets a guaranteed crit. And then, of course, he is getting better. The less HP you have, the more defense he's going to get, so that's really, really good. And then the more HP, the more attack he will get. So he's just an overall really, really good unit. Definitely limited by his links, unfortunately. Not going to activate Guidance of the Dragon Balls or the Incredible Adventure or Turtle School. Probably not All in the Family, the Innocence. Like you're not going to activate a lot of these on like Pure Saiyan's team. But regardless, he is building up ki in his passive as well. He's still going to be a top tier option for sure with those guaranteed crits. Obviously, the chance to fuse is here. I wouldn't expect you guys to get it, or anyone to get the fusion. But if you get it, oh boy, obviously it's a guaranteed full heal. This guy is crazy. He's just crazy, right? He counters 150% attack and defense. He's getting 3 additional ki plus 3 ki. Per rainbow key sphere obtained, so he's getting 4 ki in total. It's ridiculous, right? He's still really, really good. A little dated for sure, but still super strong. Primarily, you're going to have these guys. Attack and defense, I think 120%. Key 2 in addition per rainbow key sphere obtained. All overall, really, really solid. You could even consider running them as a leader, but 90% is a little bit low. So you'd have to stock up with some Patara units. So Hercule, again, he's a stunner. I would definitely recommend bringing him. He gets massive damage reduction, so he gets up to 90% damage reduction when you're at low health. So I definitely recommend bringing him, and again, he does stun. Just keep in mind that he's not really going to share any key links, unfortunately, so he's going to be stuck at 6 ki for, basically the whole fight. And then this guy, I mean, goes without saying, dude, this dude is freaking crazy. He's so good. He gets attack and defense per key sphere obtained. He is an orb changer when there's a Realm of Gods category enemy. He's just overall really, really good. Super effective against all types, which doesn't really matter too much in here when you get 7 or more key spheres. And then, of course, when you're getting so many key spheres with this guy, he's actually going to help be like a really, really legit healer. So obviously he's creating int key spheres as well. So overall, just a really, it'll be an interesting team. I'm going to have to play around with this team a bit. Let's see who else we could bring. So there's the LRs, by the way. This guy would be a solid option as well. He can stun, but it's only a rare chance. He can dodge. He can do some stuff. He'd be a solid choice, I think. But let's go to UR as well. Guys, again, I know this is a long video. It is meant to be pretty comprehensive. If you can ever get this guy to transform, he's obviously top tier, right? Top tier, high chance of stunning, but you have to have only one enemy and they have to be 80% or above HP, right? So that's kind of, well, and then starting from the 3rd turn, it's possible for sure. I might consider bringing him, and future Gohan, honestly, is a very, very good choice. He gets that massive damage reduction when you're below 58% HP. I might consider, matter of fact, I'm going to change it up right now. I'm going to replace the fusion with Gohan. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace you with this Angel Goku. And then we're going to swap leaders real quick. So let's swap leaders. And then this is going to make everyone happy. So this is going to maximize the God Goku. So this team is more or less built around God Goku. So there's a full team of pure and hybrid Saiyans. So he's going to be looking mighty fine for sure. But let's move on. So this team, again, is another interesting one. Not really a strong leader I could think of, but there is a strategy here. So the Pure Saiyans leader, obviously you're welcome to load up with Pure Saiyans just to get that 150% buff to most of your team. But the strategy we do have we have one here, right? Here's another Pure Saiyans. He's got this great chance, 70% chance to stun, 50% chance to get a crit as well. And when he falls below 50% HP, he gets a 70% chance to crit. This dude is still crazy, right? Definitely relevant for Extreme Super Battle Road. This guy seals, and then this guy seals. Seal tanks, not too bad either. He needs defense by supering, and that's in his passive, right? So, and he gets up to Key 3, which is good. Now, the way this team is built, Super Fizz, it's definitely built around the fused characters. So he might as well be an LR, right? Fizz Vegito Blue, and then the Fizz Super Vegito. So they both, of course, counter. Well, if you've got two units that are constantly sealing the opponents, that is their best friend because they get damage reduction upon normal attacks. So, and then of course being able to crit and doing all these things on counters, that's what this team is built around. Hey, look at that. That's a full rainbow team for me too. I don't have those very often. That's legit. We'll take that. And then, so like I said, Guasu and Zamasu, they seal, and then Seal Tank seals. So that's really what this team is built around. And then this guy, I'll probably get another, friend leader. He is providing 100% to super class anyway. So I think that this would be definitely a solid team build. And again, built around the countering characters, the Vegetos. So moving on. So this is the first team of Extreme. Now, this is definitely an interesting team build. There's definitely some variation here that you can, there's some, again, this guy, he's a must run. He's number one, massively lowering defense is an underrated ability. Massively lowering is huge. That's an 80% reduction in damage, or excuse me, in defense for the enemy. But this all enemies attack minus 40% is ridiculous. Of course, he's at full power support. Probably a solid rotation with this guy or any other, full power unit. Definitely going to be just so solid. This guy, of course, is also lowering attack and defense of the enemies. So all enemies attack and defense minus 20% at the start of turn. Now the key is when facing two or more enemies, which is going to be very commonplace in this in Extreme Super Battle Road. So, and of course, all of these units basically have big bad bosses. He does not. Well, okay, I take that back. Actually, half of them don't. But he lowers attack and defense on his 12 key. Of course, we know how good he is from all the showcases on the 5-year anniversary. And then, of course, he's going to get multiple attacks when you're up against two or more enemies. He's very good. He's going to be a good choice. Not a bad choice at all. And then these guys are definitely interesting. They're going to get extra key and attack per Wicked Bloodline. So they're going to get extra attack per Wicked Bloodline category ally, which we do, of course, have one. And then they're going to get key 9 when up against a Super Saiyan category enemy. I think that's really, really solid, man. There's going to be plenty of Super Saiyans to choose from for sure, and we should be able to get the last copy of them with the next battlefield in a week or two. So, but again, you could change this team around for sure. Majin Vegeta, of course, just ridiculously powerful, honestly, and then when you're up against Goku's family, he's getting 25% attack and defense per key sphere. Just absolutely outlandish. And of course, he's going to provide a lot of, orbs for a dude like this who needs them, right? So you definitely want him to get his 18 key super attack if you have this guy, because he does lower his own, he lowers your HP. So Extreme STR, you could definitely play around with this a little bit. Let's just kind of look. Again, I want this to be comprehensive. Let's see. I would not recommend bringing STR Broly in any way, shape, or form. I would not recommend bringing him. This dude could be okay. He can stun. So I have him reversed currently. So he can stun with a rare chance, and he does an AoE. He'd be okay. I don't know that he's going to be a top tier option, but he'd be all right. And then everyone else, I don't know, man. You might be kind of a little more limited on this one. STR Rose, again, shout out to the homie DBZ Blaze. Somehow, with all of his wailing, he doesn't have this guy. But this guy, he could be a solid choice too. He lowers attack and defense as well. And then, of course, he's providing key and defense to all of his allies. So not too bad. He'd be a solid choice as well. Definitely has big bad bosses. And remember, once Link leveling starts, Link level 10 big bad bosses has no HP restriction, which is outlandish. But definitely just run Cell. And if you want to run a friend Cell, that's fine. But I would just recommend bringing a friend Omega Shenron. Having a unit on each rotation that's lowering attack, it's just going to make your victory, like, literally, you'll probably be able to no-item the stage, because that's how ridiculous Omega Shenron is. It's a shame he's not on more teams. Anyway, let's keep going. Now, Extreme AGL is another one. I feel like this one is, again, going to be fairly easy. And definitely, there's a few other units you can bring. I have LR Baby here. You don't have to have LR Baby. And again, Metal Rildo, I think, is going to be a top-tier option to be your leader as well. I just chose to go with Baby, because there's a lot of artificial life forms on this team. So, you know, half of our team is artificial life forms. Might as well get them the full boost. And then AGL Gold and Frieza is an absolute must-run. You know, 90% damage reduction, absolutely outlandish, just crazy, crazy. And then, of course, he's going to get attack plus 90%, and then key 2 when you get 4 more key spheres. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem, right? He'll be all right. You do want to try to get him 4 key spheres, because then he'll get attack. Otherwise, he won't have attack or that extra 2 key. So definitely a very, again, a must-run unit if you have him. AGL Rose, again, very solid. We know what he does. Gets defense upon getting hit, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, greatly lowers defense. Providing key to, like, the LR is very important. Metal Rildo, he seals, greatly raises attack and defense. Like, he's honestly pretty ridiculous. He does have he also has this ability to change key spheres, providing 50% attack and defense to all of his allies. Very good. All of these support units are literally built for Extreme Super Battle Road. So I do need to build a couple more teams, because we are missing a few Extreme class teams. So I will be right back. Okay, so here we are, Extreme Tech. Now this one is again, another very interesting one. A lot of these units do have big bad bosses, however, some of them do not. Well, I say a lot of them, and then it's like I look at it and I'm like, yo, only 2 of them do. So unfortunately, LR Broly does not. He has Berserker, which is a link that's pretty, as a rule, pretty difficult to activate. So hey, what are you gonna do? And then also, this guy got completely shafted out of big bad bosses because they gave him this stupid goddamn link that he'll never ever activate. But at the very least, he has shocking speed and 80% damage reduction, so obviously very good. Raditz is an absolute monster. People were very quick to forget about Raditz, but look, so he's going to infinitely stack his attack, high chance to stun, and when you're up against 2 or more enemies, you get a guaranteed stun. Literally, well, wait a minute, hold on. Let's double check. Let's be factual here. Yeah, stuns the enemy, key 2, by 50, yeah, reduces damage received by 50% as well. So absolutely ridiculous. And then a 50% chance of performing a critical hit when you're up against a Namekian or a Goku's family, which is going to occur a lot in Monotype Super Battle Road. This dude is an absolute must-run. Absolutely must-run. Okay, so Frieza, he's going to heal every time he comes onto the battlefield. Of course, he does stack his attack and defense. Again, recovers 11%. And then all the way through his transformations, like I think this guy gets 12%, yeah, and then down the line. Usually you don't get past 3rd form Frieza in something like Super Battle Road, but does have big bad bosses. So does Tech Cell, who is still a very good unit. Somehow I only have him at 90% after all this time. He's still at 90%, so I could use 1 more copy of him. He's a little more limited in his key links, unfortunately. He does have Revival. Will you share Revival with anyone on this team? Do you have Revival? Yeah, I know you're prepared for battle. No. Okay. Well, I might have to rethink this team, but obviously, this guy as well. So he's not going to be providing any defense to anyone except himself, of course, but he is lowering superclass enemies' attack and defense. So that's still really, really good. He's still not going to be a bad thing to run on this team. So this team you could definitely play around with, I would say for sure. You could play around with this team. So he's not really going to be that valuable to bring, unfortunately. He's not really doing anything on this team, providing a little bit of support, but nothing too crazy. So this, extreme tech, really interesting, right? It's just, it is kind of limited. You can bring a hit. He's not going to fit in overly well. He does have shocking speed, which is good. And he does have a high chance, medium chance to stun, and then a high chance to stun for 1 turn from his passive. So that's still really good. But dude, and then attacked enemies attack minus 20. I mean, that's good. He has no defense. So if he gets hit, he's like a high risk, high reward. You have to. So I do apologize there. I did field a phone call just now, but hit could be definitely a high risk, high reward type unit. Not going to be the worst unit you can bring. You definitely have to protect him. Make sure he does not get hit at all. And then in terms of everyone else, I mean, guys like. You can see I'm not including like a ton of free-to-play options like I usually do, because guess what? There's not. You're going to need some strong units to be able to defeat Extreme Super Battle Road. I believe the last team is no, we have 2 more to go over. So, Extreme Int. This team is honestly really, really good, especially for something like Extreme Super Battle Road. So I do, again, if you guys watch my summons, I pulled plenty of this guy, but this guy is obviously an absolute, just an utter stud muffin for any Super Battle Road, Extreme, Super, you name it. So he gets defense the more HP he has, so the more HP, the greater the defensive boost. And then, of course, he's getting Key 1 and attack 20% per existing enemy. So he could potentially, if there are 5 enemies, which there will be in Extreme, usually it's 2, 3, or 5 is usually how it goes. 2 through 5, right? So he could potentially have Key 5 and an additional attack 100%. And then, of course, just run a double cell. And if you don't have cell, pick another Extreme Int leader like Wuhan. He could get the job done for sure as the leader. Int type Key 4 100%. Same thing with Bojack. He's got the same leader skill. Well, Extreme Int. And then what do you have? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend him. But this guy I think is really, really interesting. So if we look at what he does, so number 1, he infinitely stacks defense, obviously. Target Goku allies, he's giving Key 2 and attack and defense 30%, so that is significant. He himself is getting attack and defense 90%, and then he has a high chance of performing a crit when facing an enemy whose name includes Goku. So that you will encounter quite a few Gokus in Extreme Super Battle Road. So I thought that this was a pretty obvious choice, to be honest with you. Now, so let's see who else is on target Goku on this team. Might only be, is Cell on target Goku? Probably not, huh? Oh, he is on target Goku. Okay, so he's going to be providing support to LR and Cell. That's really, really good. Obviously, Janemba. Janemba not going to be as effective as you might think, however, because what makes him so good in Category Super Battle Road does not apply, and that is his guard activated against all attacks. I think it does help very, very minutely, having that guard ability, but remember, he's going to have guard active no matter what, because you are up against type advantage the whole entire time. And then, of course, he does have a chance of evading, and then, of course, his 5% chance from the potential system. He can still hit very, very hard. He does have big bad bosses. He's got some really, really good, just an absolute godly link set. Definitely limited by his categories, but Janemba is going to be a good choice still. Now, this guy is probably the one, I would say definitely a flex unit, right? So he does raise attack and defense for 1 turn, and he seals, which is, of course, we know is very good for Super Battle Road. He gets another attack and defense 150% when performing a super attack. And then he's getting up to Key 4 and a chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, up to 10%, up to 40%, 10% up to 40% per time traveler's category ally on the team. So he himself is an ally, so there's 10%. This guy's a time traveler, so there's 20%. And this guy's a time traveler, there's 30%. So I thought that that he was definitely a solid choice to bring. He'll have like a medium chance to dodge, essentially, which is really, really good for Super Battle Road. Speaking of time travelers and this guy, LR Bojack, you know, especially if you got a dupe or two in him, mine is only at 55%. You know, it is what it is, right? I think he'll still get the job done. He's like Kid Goku, where he gets more defense the less HP you have, and more attack the more HP you have. So he is still very, very good. Does have big bad bosses. Is a Shattering the Limit unit, so he'll link up pretty well on this team. But guys, one more team to go over. Buhan, of course, heals, and he does greatly lower attack and defense. That's obviously really, really good, of course. So he's going to be a good choice as well. Again, big bad bosses. And also has Metamorphosis, which is good. So the last team, Extreme Fizz. So Extreme Fizz in another interesting sort of situation. There's a lot of other units you could use, but I thought that this was going to be a very, very nasty combo. Encumbers, the Super Saiyan Cumber, greatly lowers attack and defense #1, and he has a high chance of stunning superclass enemies after receiving an attack. And then, of course, he's got his Great Ape transformation, which is good, because after he transforms... Oh, wait, where is this transformation? I guess I can't view it. That's... Okay. He gets Ki 2, though, for after he transforms, which is good, which means he only needs 4 Ki to Super when he is a Great Ape. Now, that is going to be a really, really good tandem with this guy. So I'm going to dust off Fizz Omega Shenron. So this ability to lower attack from Fizz Omega Shenron, combining that with this chance to stun the whole entire enemy field. See, because this guy's weakness is his defense. He doesn't have a ton of defense to speak of. Sure, he gets 150% from his passive, but look at this defensive stat, dude. 8,000 is very low. So when you have Omega Shenron lowering the enemy's attack, I felt that that was a very, very good option. And then, of course, so run those two on rotation. And then again, he is also lowering attack on his super attack greatly, so that's obviously really good. Now, some other units. You know, Fizz Goku Black, obviously really, really good. Providing Extreme Class Ki 3. Getting attack and defense 15%. And then he's getting an additional up to 5% if you're up against a Goku's family category enemy. Of course, very, very good. And then, of course, he's a Rainbow Ki... Excuse me, he is a Rainbow Ki Sphere Changer when you are up against a Goku's family enemy as well. Does have big bad bosses, which a lot of these units do as well. Fizz Cell, he heals on his 12 Ki Super, so that's obviously really nice. He's honestly, he's not a bad unit. He's really not. He's not as impressive as some more recent LRs, of course. Fizz Cell going to be good. They have a medium chance to dodge, and of course they get an exchange into this monstrosity here. This dude is still crazy to this day. Ki 6, attack and defense 200%. Absolutely ridiculous. And when there is an Android Cell Saga category enemy, he's going to launch a guaranteed additional super attack. High chance of performing a critical hit. These guys lower attack and defense on 12 and 18 Ki Super. Unfortunately, not really going to be providing support to anyone except this guy. I guess they'll give support to this Cell, so that would probably be a solid rotation as well. Obviously, Bergadmo, I mean, do I even really need to say anything about this guy? Absolutely outlandish. Not going to be good for, like, no-item runs, but once he gets built up, once he gets his 10 attacks, he is unstoppable. Just unstoppable for sure. So, guys, these are all of the units. If you have stuck around this far, kudos to you, #1. But slap a like for Extreme Super Battle Road. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you're ready for it. It's really challenging material. You know, I mentioned, you know, I didn't include a lot of free-to-play units because you need a lot of good summonable units. This is like the real deal. This is like, you know, put on your big boy pants. Like, it's time to... to be challenged. Like, Extreme Super Battle Road, very, very tough. I myself am looking forward to it. Obviously, be expecting content on this channel. But that is the video, guys, and I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.